Every year, the music industry watches the Coachella lineup to see who is currently at the top of the world. When artists like Beyoncé headline, they are performing on what has become the most influential stage on the planet. The event commands a staggering physical presence. Hundreds of thousands of fans descend on the desert, creating a dense, high-energy city that stretches toward the horizon. But this wasn't an immediate success story. The first festival in 1999 ended in a financial disaster so severe it nearly ended the company behind it. The promoters, Golden Voice, lost so much money that they couldn't fund a follow-up. In the year 2000, Coachella simply disappeared from the calendar. This raises a difficult question. How do you take a bankrupt, canceled concert in the middle of a hot desert and re-engineer it into a dominant global business? The foundation of the idea actually started in 1993. Pearl Jam famously boycotted traditional ticket vendors and moved their performance to the remote desert, proving that thousands of people were willing to travel for a unique enough experience. Golden Voice tried to scale that energy in 1999 with high-cost headliners like Rage Against the Machine. But the reality of building a city in a remote location with zero infrastructure meant the operational costs quickly outpaced the ticket sales. In the post-mortem, the organizers realized the why was correct, but the how was broken. People loved the isolation of the desert. They just couldn't make the math work over multiple days. To survive, they relaunched in 2001 with a radical limitation. They cut the event down to a single day, strictly capping their overhead while they tested if the audience would still return. This wasn't about a big payout. It was a tactical retreat, a way to keep the brand alive without risking a second bankruptcy. Once the brand stabilized, Coachella stopped focusing exclusively on the stage and began investing in the environment around the fans. They introduced massive art installations and open communal spaces, changing the event from a standard concert into a multi-sensory destination. Their strategy for market dominance: book hip-hop, electronic, and indie artists alongside rock acts, forcing separate fan bases into one shared space. As it absorbed these fan bases, growth accelerated. They were no longer competing for a single slice of the music market. They captured them all. The ticket shifted from a simple music purchase into a pass to inhabit a diverse, temporary city built for a single weekend. By 2007, Coachella began booking global legacy icons, which pushed their brand recognition far beyond the United States. By 2012, the festival hit a physical limit. Tickets were selling out in hours, leaving millions of potential buyers without access. Simply adding more people to the same weekend would have overcrowded the venue and ruined the premium experience that fans were paying for. The solution arrived in 2012, the two-weekend system. Holding the exact same lineup over 2 consecutive weekends doubled ticket supply overnight. This doubled revenue while maintaining crowd density and generated twice the social media content out of the desert, massively heightening the festival's visibility. This expansion proved that the market's hunger was even larger than expected. When both weekends continued to sell out instantly, it transformed a Coachella wristband into a rare, high-status asset. In its final evolutionary phase, the arrival of actors and online influencers shifted the focus. The event was no longer about who was on stage, but who was in the crowd. Attendee fashion became its own industry. The festival floor turned into a runway where being seen was as important as hearing the music. As these images were broadcast globally on social media, the festival created a desire that reached people who had little interest in the actual performers. Coachella successfully moved beyond its genre, mutating from a music festival into a digital lifestyle brand. Coachella's trajectory shows that a visionary idea rarely survives its first contact with reality. Success required the willingness to separate a good concept from a bad strategy, and the patience to iterate until the two finally aligned.